Hello and welcome to our next edition of Ask Jay. Today we have Amit again with me here.
Hello.
Hope you guys are doing well and managed to tune in. The whole idea of this hour, Ask Jay, for you to ask us any question that you may have. Right, there are very important aspect of things that you may not know and we want to know what involved. Just get in touch with us and we will certainly address that. We will start out, we have lots of things to cover. We'll start out first as the market, what's going on in the market.
Definitely. So with a little market update here for everyone, basically if we're taking a look at from August to September, the market has actually picked up.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's something that has gone completely against the grain. Everyone thought market was slowing down. But these factors, they're in constant flux.
Well, the real situation what happened is that over the February when the market went like this, so now it has to come back to normal activity level. There will still be growth now. The price have come down at a point that we are beginning to see growth again. Give an example, I just listed a property in Mississauga. It needs about $150,000 worth.
Right.
We got 10 offers today. Right? But it tells you that the market is heating up.
And definitely everything within the affordability range for first-time home buyers, anything between $500,000 and maybe $700,000, is definitely selling. These are necessity purchases, so people need these homes, so they're going to sell.
They're going to sell, definitely. And also, what the latest news also, luxury condo over $1 million are selling like crazy, like hotcakes.
Yeah, so you're getting the retirees that are selling their large properties and going into condos now.
That's exactly what happened. Instead, they are moving out of town. We find a different trend. They're moving in town, right? Which is interesting.
Yeah.
It's challenging time for sellers. What should a seller really do if they have to sell their property?
Sellers, when you're selling a property, you need to make sure your home is definitely showing apart from the rest. We need exceptionally clean homes, well dressed. We need a nice bowl of fruit. We need nice smelling homes. Everything that makes the buyer salivate.
That's the way to look at it. Hi Nadine, how are you doing? Thanks for saying hi. If you have any question, please let us know and share it as well so that others will see and they can ask any question.
Definitely. Well, these sessions are definitely for the viewers, so we really want to hear from you guys.
Definitely. Now, coming back to sellers, many of you got your home on the market and you're trying to sell it and it's not selling and you're getting frustrated. Now, what it is, you got to figure what's the reason it's not selling. Is it overpriced? Is your realtor marketing it properly, using all the medias to market it? Does the photography, are they outstanding? How about the write-up? The way they write the property up. Words means a lot. So these are very important areas sellers must focus on. Now, if you bought a property, let's say a client bought a property,
right,
and then they are trying to sell their property, it can be a dangerous thing.
Definitely, because the real issue is if your property is, your closing property is, say, at the end of this month, right, and you haven't sold your property, it could be taking 1 month or 2 months or maybe 3 months to actually sell your existing home, depending on the location, size, and other factors. So you don't want to end up in that situation because you could technically be owning 2 homes.
Well, not that's a very good point. Another point, though, in a market where the market is declining a little bit, you're losing money on both properties, right? You're losing money on both properties.
Yeah, definitely.
However, the market, we have seen a little rebound in the October market, actually. The phones be going off the hook again. And what I find that all that happened is really a knee-jerk reaction to the government rulings.
Yes, and it was a blip on the radar, but really that was from April to maybe August. And things have just kind of flipped the switch again.
Right, but it wouldn't go crazy as the way it was in February.
No.
It will go at the normal, regular rate. There is lots of buyers out there who need to buy property. Many of them are currently were sitting on the sideline.
Definitely. Well, a lot of buyers were sitting on the sideline because consumer confidence was definitely at an all-time low for those periods. And now everyone is realizing the market is stabilized and we're ready to jump back in.
Jump in now. Now is the time for you buyers to jump in the market and buy your properties if you have to buy.
There's also something great happening with buyers, Jay. Sorry to interrupt, but you're able to negotiate significantly with properties. You have maybe 1 or 2 or 3 properties available, and you can negotiate. Instead of going over the asking price, which is where we were in January, February, March, we're able to maybe say, we want that inspection. We want to have a look at every aspect of this home and make sure it's the right fit for us. And buyers and sellers are now working together.
And what we have seen, because the market have changed a little bit, the sellers are more realistic, the price is more to normal level, and you are gaining by doing that.
Yeah, they're allowing everyone to say, okay, I need 5 days or 4 days to go to the bank and get my approvals. In January, that wasn't happening at all. You had to have your approval well in advance before you even looked at the property. So these things, we still want to make sure we have approvals before we're doing offers. But we're just saying that the sellers are being a little bit more understanding right now.
That's true. Now, let's look at it, real estate as an investment, long term. Now, in today's market, because it's more of a buyer's market,
yes,
what we find that many of the investors even, they went on the sideline.
Yes.
So the rental market is amazingly good.
It is very hot right now. We're seeing on average, we just did a rental property for one of our investors just 2 weeks back. We posted just on regular mediums, nothing outrageous, for 7 days with a paid advertisement, so slightly towards the top. We got 2,300 views online, though, not in person, online views.
Right.
35 people showed up to the open house.
Wow.
And that was just an open house for a rental property. Right? So out of that, we had 11 applications. And we ended up having 3 just amazingly qualified people. And we had to tell 2 no, but we got the best one. And Jay, to tell you the truth, it was actually over the listed rent price.
And what kind of quality of tenant? What kind of job?
I'll give you an example without giving too much information. One was working at the bank, 10 years plus at the bank downtown in the risk department, and one was a manager at a local jeweler store.
Look at that. And they probably pay close to $2,500 for a basic home.
Oh, definitely. 4-bedroom home, and it was $2,350.
So the point here, friends, is that there are many investors that came off the market. There are many people who are looking to rent good property, and now is the best time to build wealth. Yes. Just look at your wealth like this. It's a glass of water. We pour some from this glass to that glass. It's your wealth. It's no one else's wealth.
Yeah, you're not taking it away from you when you're using your equity money. And realistically, just some very quick, rough facts. Typically, a tenant might pay around $20,000 in rent for the year. Your mortgage is most likely being paid off by around $10,000. $10,000 goes off in interest. $10,000 is usually being applied to your principal. So that's a savings for you additionally of $10,000 per year.
No, but the other side of the coin is that that 10,000 interest is a tax deductible expense. Yep. You can write it off against your personal income tax.
And not to mention the property will at the very least increase with inflation, maybe 2.5%, 3%.
3. It has been shown for the past 30 years have been going up an average of 3 to 3.5%.
Exactly. So these numbers are just a blip on the radar. The long-term goal is buy, hold, and profit.
So that's the most important thing. If you have money sitting on the sideline, now is the time to jump into real estate and buy. So if you're a buyer, get into the market and start a shop now. What I find interesting is that real estate price is very, very hot in the cold months.
Definitely.
And it's very, very cold in the hot months.
Yep.
The reason for it, the reverse, it does work because in the summer months, everyone is in relaxing mode, wonderland,
vacations and whatnot.
Right, so the market slows down and then it picks up back. As we notice in the fall, it starts to pick up back. Will slow down a little bit around Christmas and then it will go again. If you are a seller, we addressed that briefly, but as a seller, there are many things you need to do if you want to get your property sold. Number one, it's a good idea to ask your realtor to go to give you an idea or show you about 8 properties in that neighborhood. Go as a buyer. Have a look at these properties. See how much they're asking. See how they keep their home. And then make sure that your product is better than all these products.
Exactly. You would never go to the store and just pick up the first product and purchase it. You would definitely be doing research.
Right, so you want to do it that way. By the way, I want to let you know that we are full-time real estate group, the Brij team. We are 17 of us strong. We will help you in all aspects. If you want to buy a home, we will take personal care with you. We have many testimonials on our website. You can look at that as well, right? If you need any help in terms of buyer, we are here to serve. We are humble servant, and we are here to serve, to guide you and help you and treat you like family and real true friends, so that you can make that move. If you want to sell your property, we have our seller guarantee program. If you buy a property from us, we also have a buyer guarantee program. So we guarantee our service, we guarantee our product as well. Okay, so let's get back on track now. Amit, you heard what's happening at Equifax?
Oh, yes. So that was quite the scandal going on there. So
yeah.
Hackers have gotten into a lot of our data. The recent numbers are saying, is it over 1 million?
Canadian Canadian information, over $100 million. Yeah. And Equifax, for those of you who are not familiar with what they do, they collect all our personal information and store it. For example, social insurance number, date of birth, driver license, all our credit cards information.
And Jay, you know, this information, it stays the exact same from when we're age 21 to when we're age 75. So this information can be retained for years and years and years, and then used against us to take out credit cards, car loans in our name, maybe 30 years from now when we may forget about it.
That's true. So, well, you don't have to be diligent only now. You have to be diligent all the time. Equifax Canada is still working out a solution. The Canadian government is also looking into it presently. They have not come to a decision as to yet how they will handle this. The latest I heard is that they will inform the person if their information is compromised.
Yes, and you also have to be careful with certain programs that a lot of these companies that they're coming out with, where they'll give you credit monitoring. If you get credit monitoring and you accept it, always read the fine print. Because
that's so true.
Because sometimes what's happening now, you could be waiving the rights for your data being used down the road. That's what's happening with Equifax in the US.
Yeah, well, the government lobby them, they backtrack a little bit. But in Canada, we got to be careful. Yeah. Many of the time, we go on their site and they said, hey, you know what? Sorry, guys, we made a mistake, but we'll give you free 1-year monitoring. The minute you press accepted, you're just giving up your right to sue in case of something happening.
Definitely.
So that's where it becomes dangerous. There are other aspects how you can look after your credit, but we will look at that later on. For now, if you have any more information that you need about this, call us or send us an email or a message.
Definitely. And by the way, we want to thank John and Patty for joining us. Hope you're enjoying the show. If you have any questions, just give us a buzz.
Hi, John and Patty. Hope you're doing well. Yes, please send your question, and if you have any, just type it in and we'll be able to address it at the point. Now, here is a little bit more on a jovial side. You know you can buy real estate in Ontario for $7,000 to $10,000?
Tell me, Jay, where are we able to buy real estate for that price?
Well, there's a place called Rock Falls. What happened, there was a paper mill there years ago.
Yeah.
And the paper mill shut down about 11 years ago. Population have decreased. There is no direct job there. So what happened, the mayor itself and the ruling body there, they are actually giving properties at 90% discount, the land.
Yeah.
And they're giving you all the building permits and everything for free.
They're trying to encourage people to move to the city. They really want business owners to come and set up a shop, a small boutique, They really want to start to try and save this this city. I think there's only about, is it 1,300 people in the city. It's about 8 hours from here, north.
Yeah, so if you're retired, don't mind.
Yeah, northwest. So it's a little bit on the colder side, but you're able to buy property in Ontario for $10,000.
Yeah, so you can buy a property for $10,000 and enjoy your retirement or enjoy life, right?
Yeah.
You get a house to live in.
It's right on the river, actually.
Yeah, you can go fishing every day. So that's a little bit on the lighter side. Now, the next thing what we have find is that the interest rate. What's happening?
Yes.
Where it's going?
So basically, new statistics are out saying that if the interest rates were to rise even 1 more percent, you're getting 1 million Canadians would have trouble with their mortgage payments. Even if the interest rate was increasing by 0.25%, 700,000 Canadians would have trouble with their mortgage, missing payments. These are very, very big issues.
That's true. These are very big issues, folks. What's happening out there? The problem is that the jobs are not there. Majority of people are not making substantial money, and that is causing a major problem. A small increase in interest rate will mean between buying food or paying for shelter.
And you know what, Jay? One thing to take note, interest rates where they are right now, or even where they were 3-4 months ago, that was the historically lowest interest rates in all of Canadian history. So if you see where it's going right now, there's only one way for it to go. It's got to go back up.
Well, definitely. It wouldn't stay down forever, right? Let's look at it this way. In 1989, I can remember when I bought my home, my interest rate was 12.5%. All right. Remember that what price was much lower.
And if you also, it's all relative when you think about it as well, because if you may remember, GICs were at 10%.
Yeah.
So interest rates and GICs and investments, they're usually around the same rate. So don't get mad when you go to the bank now and see only a 2.5% GIC, because you're borrowing very cheap. So they're going to pay you back very cheap as well.
Right. So you don't want to put your money in GIC. Put it in real estate. You'll benefit.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Put it in real estate. You will really be ahead. Now, coming back to interest rate, it's a 3.2% for fixed rates, right? If you have to go to the bank to qualify, the bank will qualify you at 5.25%.
Yes, and really what's happening, it's a part of this, all this news that you hear about stress testing.
Right.
So what the bank wants to do is make sure in the event of an interest rate increase, you are still going to be able to make your payments.
I'll change one word. Instead of saying the event, I'll say when.
When.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely. They know it's coming, so they don't want to put Canadians on undue stress. The last thing they want is for homes to be going power of sale left, right, and center when the interest rates go up by 1 point. They're trying to improve the economy, not make it worse.
Yeah, so they are trying to prepare you for what could happen, right? My advice also that if you have currently the variable rate, that's the fluctuating rate, is about 2.5.
Yeah.
2.5, 2.6. The fixed rate is about 3.2, right? What we find traditionally is that the variable rate always stay lower than the fixed rate, right? Some people ask me this question. They said, hey, Jay, should we go fixed 5-year or should we go variable? If it was me, I will go variable, but I will pay as though I am paying the fixed rate. So what happened? A bigger chunk of our money will go against the principal.
Yes.
Within a year or 2 years, we'll see big change in terms of how the prices are.
And there's an interesting fact that you may know, obviously you know as well. If you look at the a 30-year historical average at any point in time, the variable interest rate was actually the better buy because people were saving mortgage payments.
Right.
But in this particular situation, it still needs to go up at this point. So now you're on the trend of it going on the way up.
Right. So
fixed rate is where we need to be.
Definitely. You want to keep it that way. Another way for you to build wealth right, is to unlock the equity in your home, as we mentioned, buy an investment property. But another way is to unlock the equity and lend it as a second mortgage.
Yes.
We'll get into that shortly. Let's just say hi to Chandra and Sharda. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for tuning in. And if you have any questions, please let us know, okay? Now, let's say my home is worth $700,000.
Right.
Okay. Let's say I have $300,000 remaining in this home.
Mm-hmm.
How can I don't want to pay down my mortgage at this point too much. I love to, but how can I use some of that money locked into there to start to benefit from it?
Well, technically, you have $400,000 worth of equity on that property. Right. What the bank will do is they will take a look at that $700,000 purchase price or the valuation of the property, right, and they might say, okay, we're going to lend you 80 or 75% loan to value ratio on
right,
that property. So what that means is if the home was entirely paid off, they would lend you 75% of that $700,000 amount. So what we do is we subtract the owing amount,
right,
of what you're owing on the home, and then you actually get, probably about a $320,000 amount that you can use as a line of credit on your home, and that's going to be at a prime plus 1, which is
right,
fairly good interest rates. Now, with second mortgages, you're actually able to lend out that money to people that need the money and that the banks have said no to, and you can usually make a larger spread on the bank money. So you're using the bank's money
to make money.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got that money tied up in our home. The best way, friends, is to, number one, go to your bank. Say, hey, bank, do me a favor. Give me a secure line of credit in this home.
Uh-huh.
The bank will say, okay, great. We'll give you $100,000, let's say, to borrow. Right? At, let's say, 4%. Now, you can turn and lend that in small pieces, not the whole amount,
uh-huh,
to one person, in small chunks to various people who want to borrow money. Now, the chances are they would have got a first mortgage on their property. A second mortgage is a little bit higher risk, uh-huh, because you are second in line to collect and even there is a problem.
Yes.
But your reward is much higher. You can get between 10, 11, 12, 13%, even 15%, depends on the level of risk, uh-huh, for that money. So if you're borrowing from the bank at 4% and you're lending at 14%, literally you're making 10% of the bank money.
Yeah.
Didn't cost you anything. Now, how do you minimize that risk? Number one, what we want to do first is make sure that the person you're lending that money to have some skin in the game, uh-huh, at least about 10% of their own money in there, right? So you lend up to 90% of the value of their property. Let's say they have a mortgage of $100,000. Then let's say the first mortgage is $75,000.
Yeah.
Then you only lend them $15,000. That's 90%. So they still have $10,000 in here.
Definitely. So there's a lot of fine details and points to look into with these items, but we won't bog you down with that now. The general idea is don't let the money that's sitting in your home go to waste.
Yeah, that's very important, because what it is, you can make money. So this is one way of utilizing, unlocking your equity and start to make money. If you got $100,000, you will be able to make about, on average, I'll say $1,500 profit per month.
Yep.
You can make that very easily. That's almost $18,000 a year, give, mm-hmm, or take.
Yeah.
Right, so that's a good way also to look at it.
Much more than your bank's mutual fund.
Oh yeah, if you got the money sitting in GIC, then that's almost next to nothing. You do it this way, that's important.
And again, we're not soliciting any
We don't do this as a business, folks. Okay?
Not at all. Just quick advice.
Yeah, just a quick advice how you can actually use money to make money, right? Mm. The whole idea here is to teach you ways to build wealth that are secure, that are good, and that you will benefit in the long term.
Definitely.
Right? Do you know that most people who own a lot of wealth, they start with zero money?
Really? That's interesting to hear.
Yeah, that's true. Most of them didn't have anything much, but one thing they all had in common.
Mm-hmm. Tell me.
They had a burning desire to succeed, right? They had that burning desire. They literally had it planned out. what they want to accomplish, when and how.
Like a roadmap.
Right. And now what they did, what's interesting, what they did is that they for example, I said in a way, right, I want $3 million in 5 years. That's all it takes. Now what you do, repeat that about 10 times per day with belief.
Visualizing
With belief. So after about 10 to 20 days, it become implanted in your memory, and then it get into your subconscious mind. Then the next thing to do, continue that process on the ongoing basis.
Daily.
And what to do, the next thing is get a clean exercise book. Just call it My ID Book. Right? Write the ideas down. Just write it down. Don't worry about it. As it come, as it bubble up, write it down and leave it. Every so often, look through your ID book and synthesize it. Put the good ideas together and categorize them. Okay, this is my real estate ID. That my internet ID. That's my other ID. So you know you want to get there. Your mind will start to drive you there. And gradually you will find that things happen.
Yeah.
Okay? Give you an example. I mean, I do it all the time. And then last week I said, you know what? I have to list 5 properties. I want to put 5 properties in the market. Let me try this idea. I did visualize it. I tried it. And you know what? 3 was actually listed. And then I had 2 of them yesterday that suddenly called, hey, could you come up with my own? Right? But what I'm telling you, it does work.
And yeah, it's almost as simple as when people say, put it into the universe. It's obviously not as simple as that. No. But what you're doing is you're planting these things in your subconscious mind. And then your mind, when you're sleeping, you're figuring out a way to get it done.
Yeah, your mind is really working and giving you reasons to get it done and how you can get it done. You write it and you follow it and you go there.
Reminds me of a great book that I read. I know you've read it too. Think and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill.
Definitely a recommendation.
Yes, definitely one of the recommendations. Make sure you get that book. Actually, now for $6 or $6.50, you can get it downloaded on your phone.
Definitely an audio file.
Yes,
you know what? What we'll do is afterwards we'll put it in the link, the comment section. So anyone interested, feel free to have a peek. Definitely a great book. Everyone in our office has one copy.
Yes. I probably read that book about 5 times, and I'll read it more. All right, but that's what's important. Let's get back now on topic about real estate. What we find interesting is that the debt ratio in Canada is about 47%, right?
It definitely, 46.7. And if you look at it, the national affordability measure is actually 46.7, and that's actually gone up by about 1.5% since last quarter. These measures that the banks were taking were supposed to be cooling that off, but it's actually going a little bit in the opposite direction.
Right.
And it's more because of a delay of how long it took for these measures to kind of kick in. So most likely we're going to see that in the next quarter. But interesting fact, the last time the affordability measure was this high was 30 years ago.
In 1990?
1990, yeah. So it's definitely, it's at a peak time where things are quite unaffordable for the average income. So,
and here they're saying Toronto is 75.4%.
Yeah, and you know what? It's guys like, it's markets like Toronto and Vancouver that are really pushing that national average. So it's not like this, nationwide, but they're kind of putting the screws to the rest of the nation.
Yeah, that's in itself is a little bit scary. It means that the general Canadian household debt is increasing at an alarming rate. Right? So that's something to worry about. However, real estate in good location is important.
Yes, definitely. You're never going to lose with real estate in good locations because those are around central areas, shopping malls, plazas, downtown cores. This is where people are always going to need to be.
Right. It's like a triangle. You get the most amount of money first for your location, then the second for your size, and the upgrades is like the icing on the cake.
It's
not major substance, but they make it look really pretty and nice.
You know what, Jay? It's something that you always say as well. Is that you can always upgrade a larger home, but you can't really build out on a smaller home.
That's true. That's very important. Now, that brings me to another question. If you're planning on selling your home off, some people ask me this question: should I update it, upgrade it fully first before I sell it, or should I sell it the way as is? Now that's it can work two sides,
Yes.
right? Number one, a nicely upgraded home, you may get more for it, definitely, because buyers would prefer to. Many buyers don't mind paying a decent price now. They got a really nice product, and they have one mortgage.
Yeah.
Right? On the other hand, sometimes you over upgrade, then you don't get your money back.
Yeah, you spend so much on all these high finishes and you don't get the right buyer for it.
Definitely.
So upgrades are a taste.
Yes.
So you want to make sure you do things that are to a general liking.
Right. You want to make certain areas very nice though.
Washrooms.
Washrooms are very important.
Kitchens.
Kitchen, very important.
I did a showing a few weeks ago, and we walked into the kitchen, and the wife said, "This is my house." And so realistically, these are the important places in a home. They're the central hub. A kitchen, these are family rooms, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So really and truly in real estate, who do you think wear the pants?
Without being gender biased, we'll say typically the wives.
Right. So the thing is that we gotta figure that who really buy the home. It's usually the wives that buy the home, and the men said, "Okay, no problem.
Let's go.
Let's go." Right. And the wives love lovely kitchen and nice washroom.
Yeah,
right?
that's exactly
Right.
it. Another quick story. So I was showing a home. Well, this probably happens on almost every home. So a husband usually just says, "Okay, Evan, you go on ahead with them. If my wife likes it, I'll take a look then," because they know it's really the wife kind of makes the home a family home.
Right. That's that feminine touch that's
Exactly.
important in that, right? And now, to upgrade, I will recommend number one. First impression is very, very important. Make sure front doors are nicely painted. Lights are they're good lighting also. Today LED is very cheap. You don't necessarily have to change the whole fixture.
It's nice and bright.
You can put nice and bright, or for $20 you get some lovely LEDs now, and they're this thin.
And they almost never die.
Right, that's true.
If you also one thing to keep in mind too, you're actually most likely saving from those old pot lights. They were on average 60 watts.
Yes.
One of these bright LEDs are 5 watts, and the really bright ones are 7. So
Yes.
you're saving one pot light is basically the entire energy consumption of all of your new LEDs.
Right? Yes. So it's best to convert all the LEDs. You'll be saving a lot of power that way as well. Your house looks nicer and brighter as well. So a couple of areas I'll upgrade in. Number one, the kitchen, the washroom, lights. Lights you may spend $2,000, but you can replace all your lights for what? Less than $1,000.
Definitely. So this is the long term
sense.
savings. Yeah, it's definitely a good saving. Oh, also we want to say hi to Harry, and we want to laugh a little bit at Mo there. Happy wife, happy life. Yes, definitely.
Harry. Yes. Yes. So get back to that. I think definitely if you are upgrading your home, change your light fixtures. It's one of the cheapest investment, but it makes your place look really nice.
Yeah, really shine.
It shines out really nice. Paint jobs are very important, right?
Yeah, definitely. The average paint job, when you're getting quotations on paint jobs, they vary. It could be from $1,800 to $3,000. But a new coat of paint on a home, it makes it show like a brand new property.
Right. When it comes to painting, many of us think that we can paint ourselves. You know what? We make a mess sometimes. It's probably best to pay a professional.
To hire a professional. Now, I'll tell you what. You and I, we can all paint one wall really well. After that, our arms are going to get tired. This is not our profession.
I'm going to touch the ceiling.
Exactly.
Right? Yes. Very important also, a professional painter will be able to help you to choose the correct tone and color of paint. It makes a difference.
We're not, talking about the blood red accent wall.
No.
More neutral tones that are in trend right now. This is what people are looking for in homes.
Yep. People are looking, as I say, 50 Shades of Grey, right?
That's exactly it. 9 times out of 10, all the new properties being built from the builders are all in different shades of gray.
Right. It's really great accent walls in bedroom work really good as well, like mine. Right. It just makes it stand out.
Yeah, definitely.
An accent wall is where one wall is painted a different color than the other walls. Right. So that's what's an accent wall. So painting helps a lot. That's very, very important. Make sure the doors and everything else and the trims are all white. Right. Not the older Bronx style. They're they're arcade. They're old. They don't look that well.
Yeah.
When it comes to kitchen, I recommend nice, clean, new appliances as well.
Definitely. The funny thing is, gone are the days where you had to save up thousands of dollars to get your appliances. Now you go to one of the stores, the Leon's or the Brick or someone, and you get all brand new appliances for a fairly reasonable payment.
Decent price when you look at it. You can buy 4 new appliances for $2,000, and it's make your place shows like $1 million.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. I find that also good tops make your home shows really well.
Yes, all the faucets are very important. Faucets are very important. One thing people tend to neglect as well. Proper lawn maintenance. Yes,
guys. Yeah.
Just keeping it very edged nicely and clean, and water your grass, please.
Right.
It's the first impression when somebody pulls up to your house. It's something in the older days we call it curb appeal.
Right. Well, when talk to watering grass, also that's a way. In today's world, it's good to you can save a lot of money by not wasting your water. You can literally install a rain barrel, or they have rain containers that might be about 8 to 10 barrels. And what happened? They come equipped with a small pump. So what happened? The pump is connected to your sprinkler, and you just turn it, press a button, and you got rainwater on your lawn.
Yeah, and really all it does is it connects to the regular filter that eavesdrops on your home. And you're collecting rainwater, and you're just watering with rainwater. You save a ton of money.
So make sure now it's coming on winter time. You need a couple of things done. So that's why make sure you winterize your property first and foremost. If you have sprinkler system, blow them out
with an air pump. Basically, you just attach to the main line and blow them out. What happens if you don't? A lot of the water will actually freeze and it will burst the pipes.
That's true.
Speaking about bursting pipes as well, always make sure you turn off the water line going to the outside. There's going to be one in the garage, and there's going to be one in the back of the house for your backhoes.
Yes. Turn it off, open the pipe outside and make sure it's drained. Drain your hose and leave it. For example, last winter I leave my hose full of water. And guess what? I have to go buy a new nozzle because it got broken. It got frozen.
Yeah, it'll freeze and break every single part in there. As strong as you think that hose is, or the metal fixtures are, ice is stronger.
Yes, definitely. So you want to make sure that is being done. When it comes to windows and doors, it's a good time to go around and caulk all of them to prevent the cold air from coming in.
Yeah, definitely. That will save a lot on your energy bill as well.
Right. And you might find in certain area in your home, there might be condensation at one point, especially on the top floor. It tells you that the insulation is missing at that point. Just like a glass of cold water, condensation will happen and then mold will start to form.
And then, those are issues you definitely want to avoid. Nobody wants mold. There's a long process. It could be a short process or a very long process. So we definitely want to take these minor tips and make it a once-over, like your spring cleaning. Now it's your winter cleaning.
Now it's your winter cleaning. You want to make sure do that. Another important area, service your furnace.
Yes. The importance of servicing AC and furnaces. I've spoken to many repair guys over the years, and you would be surprised. Once service for the year, each year might extend the life of that appliance by 30 years or 20 years.
But when it comes to furnace, I mean, here your home is all locked up now. You're inside this home, for this time, and all your breathing is air coming in there. If it's dusty, if it's dirty, then what happened? It will affect your health.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to affect the internals of that. It's going to infect your internals as well.
Definitely.
You can pick up those HEPA filters for $75, and they're even reusable too.
Well, I got the ones, the electronic filters, and guess what? I could literally give it a sweep out and put them in the dishwasher and run it. Yeah, you run it for a whole cycle in the dishwasher. It's sanitized, it's clean, and I put it back
Pop it back in. Yeah.
Right, so it's
technology.
It's great. You know, you don't have to worry too much. If you have dust in your air filter, it's good to get someone that come over with that big.
With the infamous duct cleaning.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. It's funny enough. I'm sure every one of you have hung up on them 3 or 4 times for the year. But once for the year definitely is not a bad idea, or once every few years. That dust definitely will.
You want to make sure that you clean the ducts and take it from there. It's very, very important to handle it that way. That's an important aspect. Now let's get back to a couple of different aspects of real estate. If you are currently renting a property and ever dream of owning or buying a home, then hey, you know what? You have to start to plan for the process. Okay, you can do it. We were all renters and we move on. Some people may say it's a different time. Yes, it's a different time, but today is a different time too. There is no time to start planning properly. Right? 10 years of rental at $1,500, right, works out to be quite a good chunk of money. Right? That's $180,000. Yeah. And your value also would have gone up by $150,000-$160,000.
Definitely, it really is a no-brainer. But obviously, there are different factors that come into play. But that's why we really we want to invite you into our seminars and come and learn the different strategies. And you know, that's what we're here for. What did you say last week, Jay? Was it the best time to plant the?
The best time to plant a fruit tree was 5 years ago. You'll be picking fruit today.
Exactly.
Now the best time to plant another fruit tree is today, because you'll be picking fruits in the future.
Yeah.
Right. So just get going. Number one is have a strategy, a timeline when you want to move from your property. Start to put away money. Buy RRSP because you can get some tax advantage from that.
Yeah.
And when you're ready to purchase that property, we can literally use up to $50,000, husband and wife, of that RRSP as a down payment on your home. Yes, you got to pay it back, but you're paying it back to yourself.
Yeah, 1/15. It's you very small and manageable payments.
Yeah, but you're paying it back to yourself. Yeah, your own self you're paying back. You're not paying back anybody. Yeah. So after about 15 years, you got back all your RSP in your account for retirement.
And you got your home.
You got your home on 2/3 paid first. That's where you get your cake and eat it as well. That's important. Right? So take care of that aspect. If you are living in a condo and you're planning to sell that condo, there are a couple of things we recommend that you do. Number one, again, people search for space.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't have too many oversized furniture in there. We see condos where people have home-sized furniture.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't make sense. You can go now at IKEA and get some small things that fit and make your place look really nice.
Yeah, a lot of this furniture now is built specifically for these 600 square foot condos or 650 square foot. So the sectionals are actually probably 2/3 of the size of a regular one, and they're also 2/3 in the price as well. So you really want to make sure you're putting the correct size furniture in your home. Especially if you're downsizing from a house,
right?
It's probably best you get rid of some of that furniture and pick up some new ones.
Also, if you're selling, you want to create space.
Yes, definitely.
So by doing that, your place will look much more spacious. Put on some nice lights, and even on condos, what you want to do is order a status certificate ahead of time.
Yes,
it tells you about the condominium cooperation.
It gives you the status. It tells you how much funds they have in the reserve fund. It really lets you know. It's a kind of a snapshot into the window of how well that they've been managing the property. And these are very important aspects that the buyer's lawyer is going to want to review. And these are even things you should want to know in case you're not on the board of your own condo.
Yeah, make sure you go to the meetings, folks, because that's where decisions are being made. And by doing that, you will be on top of everything.
Definitely.
That's an important aspect. Condo is okay for first-time buyers because, maybe they can't afford a house right off the bat. So it's a step up from an apartment.
Definitely.
From an apartment to a condo, 3-4 years in that condo, you may want to sell that condo, and then you jump into your home.
And definitely, with the value of these condos nowadays too, a lot of the times after 4 years or 5 years, you're able to scoop some equity out anyways. You can rent that condo out and then go forward and keep that as an investment and purchase your home.
That's not a bad idea. The whole idea, you can really lever on that. So I will advise you to start somewhere and take it from there.
Yeah, many different strategies, and that's what we're here to help you with.
Right, yep. So another important aspect before we close, I just want to bring in focus how the real estate market will be heading in the future. What we find October is picking up at a fast rate. You'll find that many of the buyers are now getting in. They want to buy their home before Christmas.
Yes. Nobody wants to move in the deep cold of Christmas.
Right, but what you find will happen by mid-January, the market picks up again.
Yes, definitely. So it's only maybe a 2 weeks where everyone says it's family time. After that, right back to the races in January.
Back on track. So if you're a buyer, it's not the right time to procrastinate. Now is the best time to buy. Okay, I have been telling people buy because it will not stay this way for too long. What happened? The problem is that we are getting overpopulated in the GTA. Let's face it. Usually take me 15-20 minutes from Brampton here to Rexdale. Now it takes me an hour 15 minutes.
Jay, it took me 25 minutes to get to your house, and I live 15 minutes away.
So it's telling us one thing, that population is increasing. Where most of the people stay is within the GTA.
Yeah.
So it tells us that price in GTA will go up. It might be a little blip, but guys, take my word, it will go up. In 1989, 1990, when I started selling real estate, an average home you could pay for 200,000. You got a big home, a 3,600 square feet home, $250,000. Right? That's just not too far ago.
Yeah.
Today, that property is selling for close to $1 million.
Yeah, if not over.
Right, definitely. So we are what we think is expensive today. Wait and see what will happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? It will be much more expensive.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is, if you have the time, get an investment property first. Get out a rental, buy your property. If you're in a condo, either rent your condo and move up to another property.
Yeah.
Right? If you're in a small property, rent that property out, take out the equity and buy another property. If you're in a big property and you want to keep it, take out some of the equity and invest it in another property, or at least invest it in a vehicle called a second mortgage, where you are making about 10% profit. It's not the best option, but it's a good option. The best option is to buy real estate. The second option is to get invest in second mortgages. And the reason is very clear: long-term depreciation of money. Right? When you are buying a property, you're taking money today and paying back tomorrow, right?
Yep, you're hedging.
You're paying when inflation eats the money up. So you're taking the money when it has more value, and you are paying it back when you have less value. When you are lending money as as a second mortgage, you are lending today value, which is higher, money value more, and you're collecting it back tomorrow at a lower value technically. Right? So that's what the insurance company do. They take your money today and telling you they will pay you back tomorrow.
Let's not give away everything. We'll make them come to some of the seminars.
Yes, we are planning another seminar in beginning of November.
Yes.
We will. It's a workshop. Sorry, it's a workshop. We'll let you know. The last workshop was packed to capacity. We hadn't any sitting room remaining. We actually, everyone stayed back even afterward. And one thing with our workshop is designed to educate.
Yes.
We don't sell anything. We don't ask you for anything. All we ask is to give a donation to one of the charities we are supporting.
Yes.
Right? And before we like to leave you with this, that on October the 28th, the Caribbean Children Foundation.
Yes, we'll be having our annual Angel Gala.
Yeah, it's at Elite Banquet Hall. and it's $50. Dinner is included.
Yeah, dinner and dance. It's a lovely time. You're also going to find that on Jay's Facebook, and we'll leave it in the links for you below.
Yeah, make sure you come out and support it. We always, at the Brij team, we always believe in one charity or the next, and we'll be here constantly promoting some charity and some educational workshop. Please feel free to share this video with everyone else so that they can benefit from the information that we provide. If you have any questions, please give me a call direct. My cell number is 416-418-2745, or you can message me and I will be able to handle that for you.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much and take care.
Thank you, take care.